Hi everybody, I'm Miss Lora. Welcome back to another Fresh Look Friday video. Today my books are all young adult fiction books. We categorize young adult here from like 7th grade up through high school. And all of my books are adventure, survival, dystopian kind of novels today. This is probably one of my favorite genres to read. It's what I pick up the most on my own, so I'm really excited to share these books with you today. So the first one is called Sweet, and it's by Emmy Laybourne. She has another trilogy, a survival trilogy that I really, really love called Monument 14. She wrote this one after Sweet. It takes place on a cruise. Our main character is Laurel, and this is a celebrity-filled cruise where it's sponsored by this company called Solu. It's this diet sweetener, and the whole shtick here is that everyone on this cruise is going to ingest Solu, this sweetener, and it's supposed to make you lose 5% of your body weight. So there's lots of celebrities, a lot of people looking to lose weight, and everyone is supposed to take this sweetener. It's supposed to help them all while having a good time on the cruise. Well, Laurel gets really seasick and ends up not taking it, and that's good because strange things start happening to all the passengers that have taken this sweetener, like violent, strange things. And now Laurel finds herself basically on this floating death ship. People are dying, people are trying to kill her, and it's just a survival story, page by page. You are flipping, you want to find out what happens to Laurel in Sweet. Okay, next I have The Rains. So there's a sequel to this book if you like the first one. This is definitely in that zombie survival genre mode. So if you like zombie stories or The Walking Dead, pick up The Rains. Chance and Patrick Rain are our main characters. They're teenagers that live in this small town, and this parasite has infected everyone. But it seems to only affect people 18 and older, so only the adults. But once it gets you, it turns you into this like super violent, rage-filled thing that just wants to murder anything in their path. So Chance and Patrick and all the rest of the kids are now desperately trying to survive in their small farm town from all of these adults, their parents, their grandparents, their teachers, who are now viciously trying to murder them. Definitely a page turner, The Rains. Okay, now moving away from that zombie situation, more into a survival mode, we have this new book that I listened to, adored. It was called Any Sign of Life. It's by Rae Carson. Highly recommend this story if you like survival books. So there's this massive flu, similar to what we're living through now, right? And our main character, Paige, gets the flu. The last thing she remembers is falling asleep in bed. She wakes up, it's silent in her house. She has an IV attached to her, and there's like an empty bag that the IV was coming from. Her mom's a nurse, so she thinks, oh, mom must have brought this home from the hospital and attached it. But then she looks and like her arm is all infected because it has been there a really long time. And then she wakes up, she starts exploring and discovers that she's the only one alive in her house. The rest of her family is dead, and she has been in this bed, in this coma for quite some time. And after further investigation, she's the only person that she can find that's alive. Animals are alive. This dog is with her, and there's birds everywhere eating all the corpses and trash and everything. And so she needs to start surviving, figuring out if she really is the only person. She packs up what she can from her house and tries to discover other people. Just imagining yourself like that, waking up and there's no one else around and you have to use what's at your fingertips, but there's no electricity, there's no power anymore, there's no water. How do you survive? Any Sign of Life by Rae Carson. Then we have a wilderness survival story. Think Hatchet, kind of. Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis. She's one of my favorite authors. I really enjoy her books. Ashley is our main character. She's hiking in the Smokies with her friends. They're having this like party in the woods. And then she discovers that her boyfriend is cheating on her with another girl at this party. And she gets so mad. She cannot control her anger and she runs into the woods. And she ends up waking up the next morning realizing she's completely lost. Luckily, she does have some wilderness survival training, so she's hoping that she can find her way out, but she has nothing with her at all, nothing. And she has hurt her foot pretty badly when she ran into the woods, and now it's starting to get infected. So she has nothing about her, an infected leg, lost in the Smokies, and trying to find her way home. And there's a lot of interesting techniques here. If you like hiking and in the wilderness, you'll probably learn a lot from Ashley. Be not far from me. And finally, this was my favorite book I read for this video today. I even read the sequel right away because I just loved it so much. The Marrow Thieves. Okay, I was not expecting this book to love it as much as I did. Takes place in the near future, well, in the future, where global warming has completely destroyed our planet. Completely. And on top of that, there's this disease that has raged that makes you lose your dreams. Like you don't dream anymore and you go insane essentially from not dreaming. But we discover that Indigenous people still can dream. And so they are still alive and thriving and not sick. Well, anyone that's not Indigenous has decided they need to figure out what makes them dream. And they've decided that it's in their bone marrow. So now all Indigenous people are hunted to get terrible experiments on to get their bone marrow harvested. Our main character here is Frenchie. He and his brother are on the run from anyone that wants to harvest their bone marrow. So they're surviving in empty suburbs, in the wilderness, just trying to get away from anyone that wants to do them harm. The story starts with Frenchie losing his brother, and then he has to survive on his own. It's a survival story with wilderness aspects. It's a dystopian novel. There's a lot of stuff about the Indigenous culture here that I did not know about. This is based in Canada. It was really, really informative. And like I said, I needed to know what happened, and I read the sequel immediately, which just came out this year. So if you like learning about other cultures, if you like dystopian survival, definitely check out The Marrow Thieves. That's what I have for you. I will be back next month with more YA fiction as well. Bye.